He was 13 years older than me, and I can imagine if my parents were still with me, that might have given them pause. My friends thought it was weird at first, the age.
So excited to show y'all the book outlet haul. Yes. There's a bookmark and these stickers, some tea, which is so adorable. That is actually from my friend. Hey y'all, welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Ree, and we love to keep it cozy here on this channel. I'm really excited about today's video because we are gonna look at some new books together that I got from Book Outlet. So a little Book Outlet haul for y'all, and I also wanna talk to you about some of the books that I've read and that I am reading for the month of February. I did finish 5 books, and I'm also in the process of finishing up another one from the month of February. So we discuss all of the things, got some book reviews, some ratings. Let's go ahead and dive into our Book Outlet haul first, shall we? Yes, let's get into it, y'all. I believe I got 6 books, and if y'all haven't ordered off of Book Outlet haul, let me just tell you about Book Outlet haul. I don't know how often they do this, if it's every year or if it's twice a year. I actually don't know. This is my second time taking advantage of their sale. They run this sale where you can get books for $5.99. I would be lying to y'all if I told you that I've read all of the books from my first haul. Did I really need this haul? I'm not sure, but we really wanted it, and I can't wait to show y'all what we got. So let's dive into the books that I got from Book Outlet. The first book by Taylor Jenkins Reid, One True Loves. I was interested in another book by this writer. She also wrote The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. No doubt in my mind that this is also probably going to be a very good read. I am excited. It says now a major motion picture. Okay, interesting. And it is a romance. It says it's a breathtaking new love story about a woman unexpectedly forced to choose between the husband she has long thought dead and the fiance who has finally brought her to life. I'm excited about this one, y'all. I really enjoyed The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I talk about that book in one of my previous videos, so if you're interested in checking that one out, I go into more detail on that book. All right, moving on to the next book. This is called Take My Hand by Dolan Perkins Valdez. I hope I said that right. I really don't know a lot about this particular book. Just a really quick synopsis on this one. Okay, so the story is following a Black nurse and her quest for justice in post-segregation Alabama. I also like to go into books fairly blind. It should be a good read. I'm excited about this. I have read a book by Sophie Cousins. It's called The Good Part. I'll find the name of the other book that I read by Sophie Cousins. It was hilarious. It was such a fun book. This one here is following Lucy Young, living the life you've wished for, a dream come true. Lucy Young is 26 and tired of fetching coffees for senior producers. Then she wakes up one morning to a handsome man and a ring on her finger. Lucy can't believe this is real, especially when she looks in the mirror and staring back at her own 40-something face. Has she really skipped ahead like she's always wanted, or has she simply forgotten a huge chunk of her life? Okay, interesting. Can she go back to her previous life? And if so, can she stand to leave the good part behind? I'm hoping this will be a feel-good romance or comedy. I'm excited. Wait, before we move on, let me find the other book by Sophie Cousins, otherwise it's going to bother me. Oh, okay, here it is. Is she really going out with him? That's the name of the book. I'll pop it up somewhere so y'all can check that out. I actually listened to it on audiobook, and it just had me laughing out loud. It was realistic and just a cute little rom-com. It was such a good time. So again, hoping that it's a similar vibe with the other book. We shall see. The next book I'm really excited for, y'all, because this has been on my TBR for a long time. It also came recommended from a lot of folks that I'm in book club with. I'm excited. This is called On the Savage Side, written by Tiffany McDaniel. Let me just give y'all a synopsis on it. 6 women, mothers, daughters, and sisters gone missing. Inspired by the unsolved murders, this haunting novel tells the story of 2 sisters, both of whom could be the next victim. Ooh, I feel like this is gonna be a heavy read. Just like with most of my books, those of you returning, you know I like to do immersive reading. I probably would appreciate the audiobook with this. I like to do it with usually all of my books, but especially this one, this feels like it could be definitely a good one to listen to on audio as well. The next book is The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. Have I read anything by Christina Lauren? Oh yes, I have. So Christina Lauren also did Love in Other Words. I loved that book. I have the Unhoneymooners and I haven't read that one just yet. For the readers of The Rosie Project and 1+1, a heartfelt funny novel about what happens when two people with everything on the line are thrown together by science. That kind of sounds like the John Mars book. I talked about that in another video, but that one was more of a thriller, a psychological thriller. So I'm sure this is probably more on the romance side, I'm guessing. This should be good. It sounds interesting. And to wrap up this book outlet haul, last but not least, we have Lady Tan's Circle of Women by Lisa C. I do think this is a literary fiction book. According to Confucius, an educated woman is a worthless woman, but Tan, born into an elite family haunted by death, separations, and loneliness, is being raised by her grandparents to be of use. Tan is Chinese. From a young age, Tan learns about women's illnesses, many of which relate to childbearing, alongside a young midwife in training. Tan is sent into an arranged marriage, and then it says, how might a young woman like Tan break free of these traditions, go on to treat women and girls from every level of society, and lead a life of such importance that many of her remedies are still used 5 centuries later. This could be really good because I feel like this would be very different than what I would typically go for or read. I did want to have a good variety, not just like all mystery and thriller, because that's what I tend to gravitate towards. I feel like I have a good variety here in this haul. So that's the book outlet haul. We're excited for it. Book outlet, thank you for running those deals, because yes, your girl will be back. I just need to make some progress on this. And there are books behind me. We need to make a little more progress on our reading. I would love to show y'all what I've read over the past month, what it's about, how I've rated some of them, what I'm currently reading. Let's get into it. Okay, y'all. Most of this is like a library haul. Okay, before we go into the books I've read for the month, I wanted to show y'all the book mail that came in for my friend. This is called I'm Watching You by Teresa Driscoll. I haven't heard of this book. My friend and I are really into thrillers, and this is actually right up our alley. We love a good thriller moment. So I did want to talk to y'all about what I've read over the past month. Let's go into it. Can I just start off with the book that I DNF'd? Let's just go right into it. Please don't come for me because it has no reflection. Literally nothing to do with Stephen King. This is the first Stephen King book that I've read, but I didn't realize this was a collection of short stories. The first 4 or 5, I was just like, this is not really what I'm expecting it to be. So we DNF'd, and I'm sure I will revisit it at another time, but right now is not it. So let's talk about the books that I actually have read. Absolutely loved this book. I love this book so much, y'all. This was so sweet and so precious. It's called Tuesdays with Morrie. It's by Mitch Albom, An Old Man, a Young Man, and Life's Great Lessons. That's literally what this is about. It's following Mitch and his professor, Morrie, who finds out that he has a terminal illness and limited time. Because his days are numbered, he is now repurposing his time to spend with his loved ones, interview with his student, Mitch. You get a lot of great nuggets, I feel like, in this book. You can revisit over and over. It's really heartwarming. I enjoyed this so much. And a short read, less than 200 pages. If you're going on a trip or want something heartfelt and profound, definitely check this one out. Highly recommend this one, y'all. I'm pretty sure I gave it a 5-star. I really did enjoy this book. Hey, what's next? What's next? I don't even know how to describe this one. This came available on Hoopla, and I had no idea that this was gonna be what it turned out to be. Let me just tell you something, because it sounds scandalous. Their marriage of convenience is anything but. Look at this art in the front of the book. It's beautiful. Basically, it is following Killian Barclay and Sylvie Devereaux. Sylvie's from New York, and she has entered an agreement with Killian. They enter this marriage, and it is just crazy. It's cray-cray. I don't know what to tell you other than the spice level, at least 3 chili peppers. Y'all, I was not prepared. I listened to this on audio as well, like, crazy. All things aside, there was some story to it, but not really. Like, you going into this for pure entertainment, and that's all I'm gonna say. I can't even rate this. This was so like out of pocket and so different for what I typically read. But yeah. Okay, the other book that I wanted to show y'all. This new book by Frida McFadden, The Crash. It just wasn't it for me, y'all. This did not hit the way that I needed it to hit. And I don't know if Frida needs to take a break. Whatever you need to do, darling, just do it, because I want to love her books. She had me from The Housemaid. That was the very first book that I was ever recommended by Frida McFadden. I read it. I loved it. I was like, oh, this is everything that I need and some. I just have not been impressed with any book since then. I don't know what it is. If you're a Frida McFadden fan, okay, can you send me some recommendations that I can read that are equivalent to The Housemaid? I want to love her books again. This just didn't do it for me. I felt very underwhelmed by the characters. It was sometimes borderline cringy, and I got bored with it. I feel like I either gave this a 2.5 or a 3, somewhere in that realm. So with that, I will show y'all 2 thrillers that I can be excited about. Alice Feeney, His and Hers. I haven't started this yet, but it just came available on audio, so I will be diving into this. And the other thriller that I wanted to show y'all is this one here called On a Quiet Street. This came recommended by a friend. We sort of read it together. I was a little bit behind, but she had started reading it and she was just like, yeah, it's worth reading, and absolutely 100% agree. I think I gave this a 4-star. I enjoyed this. I had a good time with it. Very strong female protagonist. It's scandalous. There's a lot going on. It's following this exclusive community. There was a murder that happened. There are people in the community that are still trying to solve that. But meanwhile, you have a lot of things going on within the families that live on this quiet street. And it just did it for me. I really enjoyed this one. So I do recommend this book. Alice Feeney, I read Rock, Paper, Scissors, and I thought that was a decent read, so I am excited to give another book of hers a try. I've heard good things about His and Hers, so looking forward to diving into this next month. The other book that I am currently reading that I am just having a time with is Magnolia Parks. Like, y'all, this is giving scandal. It's scandalous. Little Gossip Girl. There was a quote. Let me find the quote, because I was just like, oh my God, this girl is something else. The quote was, I'm a sheer wonder and an utter delight wrapped in Gucci and sprinkled with cheer and goodwill. And I'm being motherfucking stonewalled. Like, the way I was howling, I was cracking up when I read that. I was like, what? Now that I'm more than 50% into this book, that's really on brand with Magnolia. That's her personality. I don't want to get too much involved. There's a whole universe with this book. Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. Basically, it's following Magnolia and BJ, and just like they're friends, a lot of toxic romance going on. It is young adult. They're in their early 20s, socialites. It's juicy, but maybe not the typical book I would go for, but I am having a good time with it. I didn't think I would enjoy this as much as I have been. Listening to it on audio is like chef's kiss. If you're going to look into this one, definitely recommend the audiobook as well. I think that pretty much sums up the books that I've read or have been reading for the month of February. I wanted to share with y'all was this book here. It's called If Cats Disappeared from the World. I figured we could dive into this one just to see what it's about. The young postman's days are numbered. Estranged from his family and living alone with his cat, Cabbage. No! To keep him company, he was unprepared for the doctor's diagnosis that he only has months to live. But before he can tackle his bucket list, the devil shows up with an offer. Oh, in exchange for making one thing in the world disappear, the postman will be granted one extra day of life. And so begins a very strange week that brings the young postman and his beloved cat to the brink of existence. With each object that disappears, the postman reflects on the life he's lived, his joys and regrets, and the people he's loved and lost. It's already, the title is just already giving heartbreak, because if cats disappeared from the world, I mean. This is a book of the month pick for Barnes & Noble, so you can get this book for $5 with the purchase of anything from their cafe. I only got this for $5, y'all, so I had to grab it. I'm excited to dive into this, hopefully next month. I think that's all that I have for this wrap up, and I really hope that y'all enjoyed this. Let me know what y'all are reading currently. A while before I'm able to jump back on and create another video. I hope to within a month or so. I have a little bit of traveling I need to do to visit my family and to deal with some personal things, so I do think it'll be a little bit before I'm able to jump back in front of the camera. But if there is anything that I can film for y'all, if there's a format that you like, leave me some feedback so I know and I can work on it. I can create more content that y'all like to see, because that will make me very happy. If y'all stuck around this long, you're a real one. I appreciate you so much, and drop by, say hello in the comments. I'd love to hear how y'all are doing, what you're reading, what you loved this month, maybe what you didn't love. Let me know everything, and I will catch up with y'all next time. Okay, bye.